Hi guys, back with Bassington. I hope you're all well. I'm just going to do a follow-up vlog to the vlog I put out a few weeks ago about Rolex buying Bucherer. Can I just say, look, huge thank you to all those who watched that vlog, who liked it and made the comments. Broadly speaking, everybody was in agreement with what I was saying. Since then, a few other things have happened. The first is I met with a couple of friends for coffee, and they'd been really long time supporters of Rolex watches. They were the sort of classic customer that would every 4 to 5 years buy a new Rolex watch, had been supporting the brand for about 15 to 20 years. They told me they were fed up to the back teeth of the mind games of the authorized dealerships, and instead they've migrated to other brands. Most notably, they've migrated to Omega, to Breitling and to Tudor. The other thing that I've heard come back from various sources is that a lot of grey market dealers have way more watches stored in the vault than they do actually have on their own websites. So there's a tremendous amount of stock out there, and they're not releasing all the watches onto their own websites. The other thing I got told by various people was that a lot of grey market dealers at the peak of the market went over to 0% finance. So they would take 20-25% deposits on Rolex watches, loaded up on 0% finance over a 4 to 5 year period. Those customers are coming back trying to get out of the Rolex watches, and needless to say, the grey market dealers just aren't interested in buying those watches because there is too much stock. So I looked a few days ago at Watchfinder, and it came up, picture it coming up now, big bold lettering, Rolex flash sale. Didn't expect that, I have to say. And then I looked at the number of watches that they had for sale, and they have 1,804 Rolexes for sale when I looked at this a few days ago. I dropped to the next brand, which is Omega, its great rival, and they had 484 Omegas for sale. And Cartier, another brand which I mentioned in the vlog about Rolex buying Bucherer, they had 177 Cartiers for sale. So I believe Rolex do have problems with this brand for various reasons. Obviously, the first is they probably alienated their existing customer, like those two friends that I talked about, and they've migrated to other brands. The other problem was the younger generations couldn't get into Rolex watches, perhaps say on the starting ladder of an Oyster Perpetual, because the watches weren't there, the authorized dealers, to purchase, so they migrated to other brands. The third thing is there is actually quite a bit of stock coming through to the authorized dealers at the moment. For instance, I was in another city the other day and I tried on a day date, a picture of it coming up now, and they had other watches for sale, but nobody's interested in buying them. Most of all, the flippers aren't interested in buying them because they're not flipping into the grey market, because the grey market is just not buying Rolex watches because they have too much stock. But, I think the overriding problem that Rolex do have that really does face a real issue over the coming months, perhaps even years, is the fact that there is so much stock on the grey market. Now, this is beyond Rolex's control. They can't do anything with that stock. Does that mean that the brand could potentially be damaged? I honestly don't know. I mean, all I've done over these last couple of vlogs, it's my own observations, it's the feedback I've got. And I know, I'm not some guru on this by any stretch of the imagination. I think only time will tell. But one thing I would say is that Rolex flash sale that I saw by Watchfinder the other day, I believe over the coming months, there will be more flash sales by grey market dealers for Rolex watches. Stay tuned.